the practice of service, a guided behavioural conditioning and identity reinforcement session. Settle yourself comfortably. You don't need to do anything right now except listen and allow. This is a guided psychological exercise focused on identity, self-regulation, and behavioural reinforcement. Nothing here requires force or effort. We're simply working with repetition, attention, and the way the nervous system learns what feels right. Modern neuroscience shows us that the brain adapts to what we practice. Thoughts repeated become familiar. Familiar thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs rehearsed become identity. So what we're doing today is practice. Grounding. Permission to be guided. Take a slow breath in and let it out gently. Notice your body where it rests. Notice how little you actually need to do right now. You are allowed to relax here. You are allowed to be guided. You are allowed to let direction feel supportive instead of demanding. For many people, that alone already feels peaceful. Psychoeducation, service is orientation. People find fulfillment in different ways. Some through leadership, some through creativity, some through exploration. Others, often quietly, find their deepest sense of calm through service. Service isn't submission, it's orientation. It's knowing where you function best. It's understanding your role without confusion. It's the relief of structure, clarity, and expectation. When you are aligned with your pace, there's less noise inside you, less friction, less restlessness. Things simply feel settled. Reflection, knowing your place. You may already recognize this. Moments where being useful feels grounding. Moments where listening feels better than speaking. Moments where following direction feels easier than asserting yourself. There's a quiet relief in knowing your place, isn't there? Not shrinking, settling, not disappearing, belonging. And when your service brings harmony, when it creates calm, when it makes me happy, there's a particular warmth that comes with that. You notice it. You don't need to analyze it. You simply allow it. Anchoring, physical conditioning. Now gently press your thumb and forefinger together. That's it. This gesture is important. Each time you do this, you're cueing your nervous system to return to this state. Calm, receptive, grounded in service. You don't need to force the feeling. Repetition does the work. Every time you touch your fingers together while thinking about your role, your mind strengthens the association. This is conditioning, and it works quietly. Core writing task. In a moment, you will write something down. Writing activates multiple areas of the brain at once. That's why therapists and coaches use it. It makes ideas feel real. When you write a sentence repeatedly, your subconscious treats it as important. So here is the instruction. Write the following sentence. Service is my place. I feel calm and fulfilled when I stay there. You are going to write it 100 times. You may pause the session to find a pen and paper. I've provided the sentence on the screen just in case you've forgotten. When you've found your pen and paper, I want you to resume the session. I want you to write while listening. Not quickly, not carelessly, deliberately. If resistance comes up, write anyway. If calm comes up, write anyway. The repetition is the point. compulsion scripting, normalizing continuation. Some people feel an urge to finish once they begin. That's normal. The brain likes completion. It likes knowing what's expected. It relaxes when the rules are clear. If you feel drawn to finish all 100, that's simply your nervous system responding to structure. There's no need to rush. There's no need to stop early. Just continue. Each repetition deepens familiarity. Each repetition makes the sentence feel more true. Each repetition reinforces your place. Repetition-based auto-suggestion. Spoken form. There's another layer. When you're alone, perhaps in the morning or before you sleep, I want you to quietly say, "Service is my place." Say it 3 times. No emotion required. No intensity required. Calm repetition is enough. Over time, your mind will begin to accept it as a fact rather than a thought. Microtasks, small achievable practices. Now we move into daily practice. These are not challenges, they are experiments. Small behaviours repeated shape identity far more effectively than big gestures. 1. Silence practice. When a woman is speaking, practice silence. You don't interrupt. You don't rush to respond. You simply listen. Silence isn't absence. Silence is containment. Silence is peace. Peace makes you happy, and it feels good to feel happy, doesn't it? 2. Stillness practice. When you are standing and waiting, let your body soften. Relax your shoulders and let your hands stay still. Stillness tells your nervous system, I don't need to take up space right now. That feeling, settled, contained, that's your place. 3. Delay practice. When you feel the urge to speak, explain, correct or assert, pause for 3 slow breaths. not to suppress yourself, just to notice. Most of the time, you'll realise you didn't need to speak at all, and there's a quiet satisfaction in that. Four, internal mantra. In these moments, repeat silently. Silence is peace. Peace makes me happy. You like feeling peaceful. You like feeling settled. Association, approval, and regulation. You may notice something over time when you stay in your place, when you follow these practices. Your body feels calmer, and that steadiness, that regulation, that's what pleases me. Not because you're trying to impress, but because you're aligned. You like knowing when you've done well. You like the certainty of approval. That's part of how you are wired. Visualization, identity and action. Imagine yourself moving through a normal day. You notice needs without being asked. You listen more than you speak. You contribute quietly. Inside, there's calm, stability, purpose. You are doing what you are meant to do, and somewhere in your awareness, you know that this pleases me. That knowledge settles into you, steady, reassuring, grounding. Steady, reassuring, grounding. Daily reinforcement. From now on, whenever you see something white, paper, fabric, light, let it remind you of this practice. Not urgently, not dramatically, just a gentle internal note. This is my place. Closing. Loop integration. Take another slow breath. You don't need to remember every word of this session. Your subconscious already has what it needs. The writing will echo, and the silence will feel easier. The anchor will continue to work. You know your place. You feel best when you stay there, and following guidance brings you peace. When you are ready, return to your day, and later, without being prompted, you'll find yourself repeating these practices because they feel right.